Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BDL44. So, since I'm talking basketball, having a good time doing it, it's a couple coaching situations that have come about. So, I'd like to just kind of touch on those. First of all, Ty Lue is rumored to be very, very, very close to the Philly job. That deal looks like it's imminent. And Steve Nash was hired for the Nets job. Now, Stephen A. Smith said that Steve Nash getting hired for the Nets job was was a form of white privilege. I thought I thought it would be a great hire for the Philadelphia 76ers. Bit of a head scratcher for me to the Nets with the Nets. I'm not gonna say it's a bad hire, but you just got a lot on the line to be hiring a rookie coach. That's really what it comes down to. And I know that Golden State, they had success with that with Steve Kerr. It seems like maybe they figured they could do the same thing with Steve Nash in Brooklyn. Uh, I don't know if the players were consulted, if Durant and Kyrie were involved in this. I think it would be wise for them to have had some say so in this hire. And I think it's dangerous to have hired Nash if they didn't handpick him. I have no information on that. So for all I know, they did handpick him. But I'm just saying, if you're the Nets, you got rid of a coach that was real liked, and you're bringing in a rookie coach. This sounds like Golden State all over again. It really does. It sounds like Golden State all over again now. Of course, Mark Jackson. There's a big difference between Mark Jackson and Kenny Atkins. And that difference is skin in this case. And for me, I don't really look at it the same way Steven does because of that. Because really, at the end of the day, we've seen coaches get hired who have been African American, who've gotten hired as rookies. We've seen white guys get hired as rookies. We've seen guys get overlooked all the time. Every time someone gets hired, somebody gets overlooked. So I just think it's low-hanging fruit to point it out from a racial standpoint during these times. I think it's a little less credible for a lot of people to listen to something like that. Even if they believe it holds some weight, it still just feels like an unnecessary way to communicate racial displeasure in a time like this when it's so prevalent in the world, when there's so much attention coming to it. I think a lot of people are unhappy to hear Stephen A's take. I haven't listened to the segment yet to say what context it was said in, but I can say that if it was said in the context that it sounds like it was said in, it may hold some weight. You don't know that many black coaches will get this opportunity, especially coaching a team like the Nets with that type of talent as a rookie. Only other time we've seen that is with Steve Kerr in Golden State replacing Mark Jackson. To where a coach inherits this type of talent as a rookie. For me, as I said, I think Steve Nash would have been great for Philly because Ben Simmons. The problem that Philly is running into is that they have no offensive schemes that mesh Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. They just don't add up on the floor with what their previous coach had on the floor with them, had them running. Just, anybody who knows me, if you've ever heard me talk about Philly, the only thing I've ever said Philly need to do was fire Brett Brown. Like, that's what they should have did before they even got through with the process. He should have been gone. He was a coach that you kept in there to lose games. That's like the Lakers keeping Byron Scott after we finished tanking. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I think that's what they did. They kept him. They held on to him because of his relationship with the Simmons family, and he just wasn't the guy. And I think in bringing in a guy, you want to be thinking about who's going to scheme the best way to make the two players that you have mesh. And I just don't know that Ty Lue's the guy. Ty Lue had LeBron James, and everything that Ty Lue did It was run through LeBron James. Anything that they did successful was because LeBron James is LeBron James, and that's that. I like Ty Lue. Ty Lue's family to us, Lakers Nation. We know him well. He's won championships with us. That's our guy. However, as a coach, he's just kind of cool. Just kind of cool. And I think that Cleveland job really took a lot out of him. Obviously, he had some serious stress issues leading to some health issues that I think were a lot. And I just wouldn't, for me, and I know he was rumored to be a Laker coach, I actually liked the coach that we ended up getting better than Ty Lue. I wanted Vogel. I had Vogel higher on my list of coaches than Ty Lue for the Lakers. And I said it then. You'll look at my videos back then when I was talking about that. You'll see me say that. I like Ty Lue, but I just credit a lot of what he did right to the king, the greatness of the king, dude. I don't give a whole lot of that to him, unfortunately. And he'll be able to show us what he can do with a Philly team that I just think is built lopsided to begin with, because they didn't build the team with the intention of making it cohesive. They built the team with the intention of drafting the best players with tanked high picks. So the pieces never fit. They never did. And then they did some bad things with their roster, paid the wrong people, let the wrong people go. Philly situation is a mess, and I don't know that Ty Lue is going to make it work. I wouldn't be surprised if he's out of there in a year. It's a bad job. Until they bring in somebody who can schematically make the pieces that don't fit, that team is in need of some rearranging before any coach can have success with it. And I just don't think Ty Lue's the coach that's going to be able to create something that'll make that work. So that's a bad situation for Ty Lue. I don't think it's a bad hire. Ty Lue's a good coach to hire. I just don't like him for that job. And back to Steve Nash in Brooklyn. I think, it's hard to say when it's a rookie coach. You don't know what he can do. I can tell you what I saw from Steve Nash based on the fact that he was with the Lakers for a little while. More so in a coaching role than he was as a player since he was hurt. And, of course, growing up in the Western Conference, I watched Steve Nash play quite a bit. And so I know his game from a player perspective. But as far as what type of schemes he believes in, whether he's going to try to adapt to some of his old ways of terms of not really having a defensive, approach, because his game was always one-sided. It was always offensive. He was never a defensive-minded guy, and I'd imagine that will translate to coaching unless they do something to address it. So it's going to be interesting to see. Kyrie Irving and Steve Nash have a strong relationship from what I understand. I don't know if this is true, but Steve Nash, it's been rumored to have been his godfather, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I was told. I don't know how true that is. But if it is true, it's really going to speak to a good chemistry situation. KD and Kyrie are very, very unique personalities. And Steve Nash seems more traditional, regular guy, easygoing guy. He's going to gain he's going to demand some respect just because of who he is. But as far as him as a coach, it's like I said, it's dangerous. It's dangerous when you're giving him the keys to this type of car when the window is so damn short. KD is coming off an Achilles. Is he healthy? Who does he come back as? Is he going to be coming back as KD? Is he coming back as somebody less than KD? Kyrie also coming off injury. Who is he coming back as? Is he going to be the great Kyrie that we've known him to be? Or is he going to start off a little slow and have to gain some traction as he goes along? What role does Spencer Dinwiddie play as the fourth option behind those two and Caris LeVert, who is now stepping into his own as a player who probably is looking to really maximize his opportunities? Do those pieces fit? Does DeAndre Jordan have another year of competent basketball in him? I think so. I don't think that's too difficult to ask him a question, but it's something we can throw out there. Jared Allen, does he take the next step in his production? What does that look like? Does that fit with what they have? It's a lot of questions about the Nets, and I just don't like the idea of a rookie coach in that situation when the window of championship is probably 2 years. I don't like it. I like it from a standpoint of Steve Nash getting a coaching job is something that I support. I think he's going to be a good coach. I would much rather see him coaching younger players. I would much rather see him in a situation like New Orleans or, again, Philly or something like that. You're telling him to go to New York, and the only expectation the Nets have right now is win the championship next year. They're not thinking about nothing else. Believe me, this season, these playoffs, Nets fans just not paying no attention to that. They just wait for next season. KD and Kyrie comes back, and then we just get a ring. You just hand us a ring. That's how they're thinking. Now they have a rookie coach. I don't love it. I don't love it. I do not love it. I love it if Nash is coaching a passing point guard like Lonzo, like Ben Simmons. Like that's the Steve Nash situation I want to see him in. Kyrie gonna listen to him down the stretch. KD gonna listen to him down the stretch. I think those two players, with all due respect to Steve Nash, I think those guys are gonna look at Steve Nash and say, "There's nothing that you can do that I can't do. There's nothing you can tell these players that I can't tell them. There's no scheme that you can come up with that I can't come up with on my own." And that's what I fear. If I'm the Nets fan, that's the concern that I have. Will they respect Steve Nash when it matters most? A guy like KD who's won championships, a guy like Kyrie who's won championships. Are they really listening to a rookie coach that they may look themselves in the mirror and say, "I was better a player than this guy, and I'd be a better coach than this guy"? Because both of them have the right to say that, especially Kevin. So, I just have a feeling it's gonna it has a potential to go left, and it has a potential to be perfect. But just like I said when Steve Kerr was hired, you don't know what this guy's gonna do. You got rid of somebody that you knew was going to bring to the table for a rookie, and you don't know what he's going to do. You like Steve Kerr schematically, maybe he blows your socks off, and maybe it works out, and it did. But it could also go the other way. You got a rookie coach, and you got these great players, and it just doesn't work because this guy's never done it before. The level of risk doesn't make any sense if you're the Nets, if you ask me. It don't add up. It don't add up. If you have a young team, yeah, heck yeah, you do that. If you're like Sacramento or something like that, hell yeah, you do that. You get Steve Nash in there right away. If you're Phoenix, somebody, you get him in there right away. But if you're Brooklyn, nah, you don't hire a rookie. No. You want a coach who's done this before, somebody that KD looks in the eye and say, yeah, that's my guy. Popovich was the guy. I don't know what happened with Pop. Clearly all the signs are showing that he's ready to get out of San Antonio. Their window right now is rebuild. His window is probably 2 more years. The Brooklyn window is 2 more years. I mean, it made so much sense for him to go to Brooklyn and coach these guys. They would have respected him, obviously. They would have listened to him. They would have did whatever he said. They would have ran through a wall for him, etc. I just don't know why Popovich isn't the coach of the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know why you signed Steve Nash as if he's on hot commodity or something when you have 2 of the best players in the league, and the windows, like I said, is short. You got to win now. I don't like the hire for the Nets. I like the hire, period. Steve Nash deserves a job, just not this job. So that's what I got to say, man. The Philadelphia situation with Ty Lue, I don't know. I don't see nothing in Ty Lue's arsenal of accomplishments that make me say he can make something out of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. And I just look at Philadelphia and I say, this is a franchise that just doesn't know what they're doing at all. They've had some good opportunities, really, really, really good opportunities. And it's like when you have a fork in the road and you make the wrong decision each time. It's like, okay, we can go this way or that way. We're going the wrong way. Okay, now we run into another fork. Let's go this way or that way. We're going to go the wrong way. Like, that's what they seem to have done a lot since they've been able to put these 2 players together. And this just feels like another one of those situations. I think Brett Brown I think they've upgraded. I think if I could say anything about the Ty Lue situation, I'd say he's better than Brett Brown. But is he what you need? Nah. Could you have done better? Of course. Of course. But I tell you right now, I don't know of too many coaches that don't want to coach Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. I can't think of too many coaches that wouldn't want that job. You got a championship caliber coach in Ty Lue, so I know that you did your search. But What did Ty Lue really do? Somebody tell me what he actually did. That's all I need to know. What did he bring to Cleveland that wasn't completely LeBron James' success? Like, what did he do that was independent of LeBron James' success? You're not going to find anything there, man. I'm telling you, you're not going to find anything there. And this is what it is. Anyway, my name is BDF44. I'm out.